So there's two elements that we need to be able to do with this. Because we know the notes on our sixth string and we know the notes on our fifth string, we want to make sure that we know how to play major and minor bar chords on the sixth string and the fifth string as well, because that's where all of our chord progressions are going to be coming from, and that's going to make a huge difference down the road too of learning how to visualize chords and scales at the same time. So let's just start off by talking about the sixth string, major and minor chords. When you're on the sixth string, of course, we already talked about this, but the note is E, and then we memorize the notes moving up the guitar. What I want you to think about is the fact that when you first start learning how to play a guitar, of course, you've got open chords, G and C and D and A minor and all that kind of stuff that you're learning how to play. But again, there's no continuity to them. They're all just different, and you're reading from a book or a teacher's telling you to memorize those chords. With the bar chord system, what it does is we realize that all the open chords that we're actually playing are really bar chords. Every single one of them are. But there's a couple of main ones that everybody uses, and those are the ones we're going to tap into today. If you're interested in exploring, bar chords on a far deeper level, it's called the cage system, and I actually have, a course dedicated to learning about the cage system as well. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to be starting off with just a plain old E chord. Okay. What we want to do is learn that E chord really can just be moved up and down the guitar anywhere. Okay. So what I do is I refinger that E chord, so my first finger isn't being used. I'm still got an E major here. Okay, and then what I do is I move it up one fret and I bar. Now, if you use the logic that we did a while back with the notes on the sixth string, wherever I put my first finger on the sixth string is the name of that bar chord. So when I was here, I was playing the sixth string open, which is E, which correlates, of course, with the E major chord that I'm playing. So if I go to the first fret, I get F, which is just E one fret higher, and F sharp, and G sharp, and A sharp, and B, and C sharp, and D sharp, and E. So the beautiful thing about bar chords is that with that one shape, I can play all 12 major chords. And remember, because there are only 12 notes in music, there are only 12 major chords. There's only 12 minor chords, there's only 12 seventh chords, there's only 12 ninth chords, there's only 12 11th chords, and so on and so on. There are thousands of different ways of playing the chords on a particular instrument, but you're just changing the place or the voicing of the chord. But the chord is still the chord. A major chord is still a major chord. If I go to a piano and I play an A major chord with these fingers, it's A major. If I play A major, but I play, an A down here with my nose, I'm still playing A major. It's just, the voicing is going to be a little different, but the notes are still the same. So the great thing about learning your bar chord system is you have one unified visual that covers all the notes that you're looking for, okay? So if you wanted to play, for instance, a G major chord, you could play G here and it'd be perfectly fine. But you could play G as a bar chord and you'd also be fine. The nice thing about doing this is that now you know how to play G sharp or G flat as well, okay? Now, if we wanted to make E, I'm going back to the original E chord here, if I wanted to make that chord E minor, I would take my middle finger off the guitar, and I've got a minor chord. So the note that makes the minor sound is on the third string. By removing that, I make it sound minor. So if I go to the F chord here and I take my middle finger off the guitar, I'm going to get a minor sound. So again, all those chords are going to be minor. They're just going to take on the name of wherever it is I'm at. If I'm at the 5th fret, I always tell students, if I'm at the 5th fret and I'm pressing on the 6th string, it's A banana. I can make A anything out of that note right there, whether it's an A minor pentatonic scale, whether it's an A major bar chord, whether it's an A minor bar chord, it's all going to come off that 6th string, 5th fret, which is A, you see? So what I need you to make sure that you know, again, on an absolute level, and you probably already do, but I want you to be able to find all 12 minor and all 12 major chords on the 6th string at any given moment in time. So if somebody says C sharp minor, you think 9, and you make the minor shape by taking your middle finger off. If somebody says F sharp major, you think 2, but you put the middle finger down because you want it to be major. And the big thing is always remember that all of these things that we're doing are coming from open chords. We're just shrinking the guitar, of course, by using the bar, and every time we shrink it, the pitch keeps getting higher and higher. For some reason, when I was a kid, that was really, really, really confusing to me. But, I mean, that's all you're doing. It's like a built-in capo that you've got with your first finger here. So every time you move up, The pitch, of course, keeps getting higher, but the quality of the chord, the major or minor quality, doesn't change. If you're making a major shape, it'll stay major no matter where you go. You're just changing F or G or A or whatever.